crazy out here, y'all. Stay focused. Let's go, KD. Take a look around you, look to find your way, man. Find your way, man. Find your way. Yeah, take a look around you, look to find your way, man. Find your way.
Yeah, I ain't talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change the way. Got things to do, I done pay my dues. But where was you? Nigga, where was you? I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Hey, you the one that say that. You and me go way back. When this whole thing over, I'ma send my invoice, pay that. You don't wanna say that. You don't want this payback. I keep my composure, this my kingdom, nigga, stay back. We had a couple of moments, you had a choice, nigga, own it. Your real colors, they showing. I'm real, nigga, I'm focused. When I come around, I'm fly with it. Stay moving, do buy with it. New sound, just vibe with it. Same truth and we die with it. I see it like it's an obstacle. I never sit on the fence. Nothing to me is impossible. Music a means to the end. Most of the shit is illogical. All of y'all niggas depend on what they pretend. Just think with your head, stop looking at trends. You wearing your eyes like it's topical.
Now the pain is gone, the fame is on, and they play my songs. Yeah, it's real. Yeah, it's real.
Yeah, I ain't talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change the way. Got things to do, I done pay my dues. But where was you? Nigga, where was you? I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. New era, I got y'all. Real game, we pop off, no knockoffs. Open eyes, we watch out. Mobilize, won't cop out. COVID-19 cops out, don't flop now. Open skies, we fly now. New agenda, they try now. Most y'all getting real scared of the headlines we find out. End game getting real near. If you don't know, you behind now. Behind the times, government hide behind the lines. Most brands trying to monetize. All of us have to stay inside, don't socialize. Talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change the way. Got things to do, I done pay my dues. But where was you? Nigga, where was you? I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe.
It's been a while since I dropped this shit. Swole fam, y'all better run this up. KD, let's go. Yeah.
Aye, East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, gang. You know we don't play guys, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, gang. You know we don't play guys, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, gang. You know we don't play guys, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, yeah. You know we don't play guys. I'm blessed, I never said I didn't struggle. I finesse, I never said I didn't hustle. These niggas talk so loud, the way I move is subtle. I'm the ocean, but these niggas just a puddle. Ay, oh, I swear I'm delusional. These niggas ain't using me. They want my energy, ain't nothing new, this is usual. These figures confusing me. What's gotten into me? They say I'm using their cubicles. Clipping KD like some cuticles. None of this shit is excusable. Don't need a muse when I'm musical. Ay, whoa, I'm tired of saying for truth when nobody's doing it. They're controlling the youth, agenda of fusing them, nigga, we losing them. Matter of fact, we just abusing them, that's a fact. We try to roll with a ballad act, fucking low key with a Tesseract. They throwing smoke when they got it. Get the fuck up out your little bubble. They wanna ask how much it costs, I said it double. Gorilla beer, these niggas only rockin' stubble. The realest nigga make these bitches start to stumble. Aye, East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, gang. You know we don't play guys, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, gang. You know we don't play guys, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, gang. You know we don't play guys, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, gang. You know we don't play guys, yeah.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised. They have a cave troll.
Go to the fucking gym.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Feel swole, Norma.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Test. Testing, testicles. Welcome, everyone, to episode 29 Hundo and 69 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beardcast, broadcast, gamecast, mancast, pimpcast, sleevescast, and slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Oh, what's going on, beaches, booshes? Bustus, hustles, and your hoes. It's your boy, Papa Swolio, back with another episode, and today's episode of the Beastcast is truly sponsored by Everest and K2, flexing on all you bees.
Fucking Catalina one.
What's going on, fam? How are we doing?
Hi, puppy.
Welcome to 2969 Swole Slut Saturday. So drop that hashtag in the comments down below. We're going to make one of you special Swole Sluts an actual recipient of the Swole Slut card. Drop it in the comments down below. Triple S, it is Swole Slut Saturday after all. Thank you so much for doing so. Make sure you hit that Triple S right there on your keyboard. And we'll give this Swole card away at the end of today's episode. Now let's get into that tip. We got some Swole fam posts. How's your weekend going, everyone? We're doing good? We're doing good? Well, all right then. Babe, just an inch. It's cold outside. All right, first post of the day.
What's in the box?
What's in the box? A little too much with the symbols there. Too much. Too many symbols. But thanks, Brad. Debbie says, "Welp, had a bit of a victory today. As my husband and I got ready to go to Walmart for a grocery run, I decided to try on these pair of Wranglers. They are a size 11 that I've had for more than 15 years, and they are not the stretchy type either. I've never been able to wear them until today. I tried them on, and lo and behold, I was able to button and zip them up. They're tight, but not so tight as to be uncomfortable. I wore them, and I am tickled pink." Well, good for you. Fitting in those pants. Putting on those Wranglers, it reminds me of the Seinfeld with Kramer. And the jeans were too tight. It got skinny jeans. So at least they're comfortable. That's good news. Jared writes, "What's up, fam? I was hoping to get some of y'all's advice or opinions on this. As we all know, sleep is a fundamental component of recovery, and I do my best to optimize my sleep. However, I have one issue that makes it somewhat difficult. The way my schedule works is I am able to work from home 4 days a week, which is nice. Most days I start work at 7 a.m., usually going to bed around 9 at night. However, on Tuesdays, I have to go into the office and must get up at 4 a.m. to catch an early train that takes me into the city. This drastic difference in wake-up time is screwing up my sleep schedule because I find it nearly impossible to get to sleep on Monday night at 7 or 8 to get a full 8 hours. Especially since it's summertime, this has become increasingly difficult. I'm thinking about trying blackout curtains and melatonin for Monday nights, but I'm wondering if I should try to change my sleep schedule altogether or something else. It's very hard to have a consistent sleep routine 6 days a week and have one day be completely jacked up out of your control. Any thoughts? Anything is appreciated. Hashtag GTTFG." So I'm interested to hear your responses, so you could drop that in the chat. What I would say is most days you start work at 7 a.m. On Tuesdays, you have to get up at 4. I would just set your schedule so you're getting up at 4 every day. According to what I read, that's possible with your schedule, no? So most days you start work at 7 a.m. and you go to bed around 9. Okay, so go to bed and just get up at 4 every day. Just get up at 4 all the time. Get up at 4 and train first. Lift first and then go to work at 7 a.m. There's your fix. And then if your schedule changes, maybe you just become more of a morning person, whatever that is. So you're allowing your schedule to be messed up in this situation. Because if you're normally working at 7 and you go to sleep around 9, then just go to sleep around 7 or 8 and then just get up at 4 and get your workout in first. Then you don't have to change your schedule. That's what I say. Anyone else? Because if you base it around the other 6 days, it's going to fuck you up. And it's not just that one day too. So if you're normally getting up at 6 or whatever, so now it's like 2 hours earlier or something, what you're doing is it's not just that one day that's getting fucked up. It's the day after and the day after. So you're jacking yourself up for more than just one day. So you might think, hey, I'm getting great sleep the other 6 nights. I guarantee it's not the same, because then you're in sleep debt and you're having other issues going back to sleep at that time, or you're exhausted, and then Wednesday sucks also, and Thursday sucks also. So what you're doing is you think you're getting 6 days good and one not, when you're probably getting like half your sleep sucks, or overall it sucks and it's adding other stress. Just change it the other way around. Just my thought. We got one here from Ren. Ren says, I'm trying to come to grips that in about 3 weeks, I will be 64. I'm so bloody old. I'm just thankful that I have my health. Working out and eating proper food is so worth it. Ren, total props to you. Let's get some biceps and gorillas.
I give it a 10. A 10. A fucking 10.
For Ren, 64 years old. So many people don't even lift and don't go to the gym. So for you to look the way you do and to be consistent, that's why you're doing so well. So it's like, I'm just thankful I have my health. You should be thankful that you have your health, but you have your health for no accident. It's because you do the things that you do. So good for you. Good for you, Ren. That's awesome. Let's get into a couple email responses. How to make progress. Fam, there's a lot of things that you can do to make progress, but obviously we here in the Swole fam, we focus on the 7 pillars. If you are focusing on these 7 areas of your life, you will make progress. Guaranteed. You just have to focus on the lowest common denominator. People are getting too fancy. They're getting too fancy. They're overlooking the basics that are really the fundamental issue. And that's what we address here with the 7 pillars. So how to make progress, sent out an email. If you want to get on the email list, it's in the description. Erin says, 100%. I love my gym. I've been there for 7 years, and my husband used to say to my feeling sore compliments, quote, have you been going long enough to not feel sore? Because he didn't understand that each gain meant I found another way to challenge myself. Truth be told, I can do that all day long with exercise. My challenge is still with eating what's right for me. What's the right protein amount? How do I cut back on sweets? My addiction, and I own a chocolate factory. You own a chocolate factory? I find inspiration in your social media. Well, okay. You have to cut back on your sweets. You're addicted to sweets and you own a chocolate factory. Maybe the best business, maybe not the best business. I'm an alcoholic and I own a liquor distribution company. So let's see. Honestly, I always say this, the eating is the easy part. It's really not complicated. People just don't want to change those. Those are just more fundamental habits. Goes back to your upbringing. It goes back to every social engagement. I really stick by that. It's not complicated. It's not challenging. I'm not saying it might not be more expensive for certain things. I'm not telling you to go out and get grass-fed ribeyes every night. But you can get grass-fed beef. You could find all these better food choices, even just getting meat, period. You're going to be making such a better decision. And of course, just all the things you have to cut out. It's really not complicated. It's not hard. It's the easiest thing. Isn't it always? Isn't it? Or the simplest thing? Isn't always the simplest thing? It's so fucking simple. It's so simple, but of course, got to make it seem like there's so many things. My addiction. How do I cut back on sweets? What do you mean, how do you cut back on sweets? You don't put it in your face hole. I'm not going to treat you like a baby. I appreciate the email, Aaron, and I'm glad you're staying focused otherwise and stuff, but let's have some tough love here, right? Come on. Come on, how do you cut back on it? You don't put it in your face hole. Don't put it in your mouth. That's how you cut back on it. And I will tell you, guess what? When I first started gaining and I was really serious about bulking, I worked at a chocolate shop. It was a coffee shop and it had a whole truffle. It was a whole mini luxury kind of gourmet chocolate place. It was a place where people would come in out of the city and, you know, they would drive up for the weekend and they would get chocolate that's like $15 a pound, that kind of crap. So, yeah, and I was fine. I didn't eat it. I'm not saying I never had anything, but I didn't eat it. I was eating tuna and bread and water. I'm not saying I would eat that either right now, but it was gross. But I was eating super on point because I was trying to make some fucking gains. I was lifting heavy. I was trying to make some gains. And if you want to make some gains too, I recommend you execute. And that's just the truth. You might not want to hear it. I'm not saying, and again, you're going to have all the people, wow, that's not true. There's sugar in everything. Everything gets turned to sugar. And it's just once. You only live once. It's just a little bit. Everything's moderation. Okay, keep telling yourself that. I'm not saying that you eat a little bit of chocolate, you're going to die. But what I'm saying is that's not the only bad shit that you're eating. Don't pretend like that's the only thing holding me back is just a little bit. You're probably eating it all the fucking time on top of all the other bad habits you have. So if you're satisfied with your choices, the way you look and all this kind of stuff, all right, I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. I'm just telling you how to get the results that you say that you want, right? So just be honest with yourself. But of course, it's very simple. Like, you don't eat it. Don't put that shit. Don't bring it in your house. Don't put it in your mouth. That's it. How to make progress. Francine says, speaking of testing, I'm tired of being a diabetic lab rat. Took myself off Ozempic and refused metformin. I'll stay on just Novolog and Lantus and work my ass off. I've never heard of you. I don't know what those are. I assume it's some other pills you take. I'll lift weights and have a Gen Xer give them hell mentality from Bookworm. Good. As long as you're healthy, as long as you're doing it right. I mean, I don't believe in those things. I think this is going to be the type of shit that comes out in a decade or 20 years, and everyone's got, not trying to strike fear into people, but all these side effects and issues and diseases coming from taking these fucking drugs. Do it with proper nutrition and exercise, and you're going to be the better off for it. Let's not try to get after. Everyone's trying to take something for the symptoms, right? You go to a doctor, they say, oh, your blood number is this, your blood number is that. So we do this. You take this pill if you have this thing, and this pill if you take this thing. Oh, that pill didn't work. Let's try this pill. So you're just treating the symptoms. You're treating the results, right? You're treating the outcome of your bad habits. So let's get to the source about what's actually going on. All right, if you want to get on the email list, please go to makeemailswoleagain.com. You're getting a lot of emails to keep you focused on your 7 pillars and a lot of insights and updates. Don't miss out on the email list. Plus, trust me, once the app starts getting closer to release, you're going to have exclusives and updates, and you're going to be notified. So make sure you get the latest updates, kind of like a newsletter, but we're always dropping some knowledge, cock, and swolosophy. Go to makeemailswoleagain.com. Now let's get into some knowledge, cock, more questions. Ask Papa Swolio. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. Drop it in the chat. And if you want to call into the show, go to askpapaswolio.com and call into the show at any time. Submit an audio recording up to a minute. Call into the show and we'll get to it in an upcoming episode. If you have a live question, hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. First one's from Muscleman 006. Papa Swolio, how do I burn body fat while maintaining my muscle mass? Slight calorie deficit, sufficient protein, strength training, and a slight calorie deficit. That's it. That's how you're burning body fat all the time. You're utilizing body fat. But what you want to make sure is that your training adaptations maintained. So you still have to maintain your strength. Maybe probably, in my opinion, I would personally drop back on the volume. So increase the intensity depending on how you're training. Make sure that you're maintaining your strength, you're maintaining your hypertrophy adaptations, and only do a slight calorie deficit. But there's a lot of other factors that I care about more about your health, not just body fat percentage. But most people that ask this question don't have enough muscle mass to cut down to. So because it's a generic with an avatar, I know nothing about this person. In general, people don't have enough muscle. They don't have enough muscle mass to cut down to. They might have excess body fat, but they really are just under muscled. That's why they have excess body fat relative to their mass. So for me, I have a lot of muscle And I also have body fat. I've been bulking and putting on some weight. So I've been putting on, I'm not as lean as I used to be in some of my videos like a year or two ago. That's the plan. That's what happens when you put on size. You have, body fat's going to come with it. That's just part of the process, especially naturally doing it and gaining over time, slowly and surely. But if you eat too much, of course, you have excess energy. Your body in general is going to store more fat. So you might get fat sooner. And a lot of people just look at the scale and think, hey, I gained 20 pounds. Let me cut back down. And they're just gaining and losing fat and water. They're not really putting on muscle. And really it's anywhere between like 0.8 grams per pound of body weight up to like a gram per pound. I generally, it's good to aim in general. If you're trying to put on muscle, that should be more than enough. I don't even think I hit a gram per pound every day. So anywhere between like probably 0.75, 0.8 to a gram is going to be more than enough if you're training properly, and the rest can come from fat and carbs. In general, that's a good ballpark in terms of sufficient protein that you require. It could be less, it could be slightly more. Chances are it's not going to be more, but also it's the bioavailable protein. Not all proteins create equal. Eskild Thorvik, Papa Swolio, should I try creatine or not? I'm about 71 kilograms, recommended 5 per day. Shrug emoji. Should you try creatine? I'm not going to tell you what you should or should not try, but I personally take it. And 71 kilograms is what? 71 times 2, 140, what is it, like 150 something pounds, something like that, 160, 150 something pounds, 155, I don't know. You should probably be taking creatine in general. I would. But of course, proper nutrition, red meat, great for creatine. But I take it. Mama Solio takes it. I recommend people take it. It's a great thing. But I mean, should you? If there's anything that's going on with you medically that would lead you to not taking it. But for me, it's always been great. And I really have not heard any people having negative side effects unless you're taking a certain type of creatine and it bothers you. So you want to make sure you're just getting creatine monohydrate, a micronized or something is great. Most of it are going to be okay unless there's impurities or you have like other flavorings and stuff. If it bothers your gut, try a different brand, but most creatine is going to be just fine. All right, let's see. Eddie V on Rumble. Let's see. Eddie V, ask Papa Swolio, would you be able to track weights and reps inside the app? There's no plans for that. That's a whole other level of construction in terms of like putting next to the exercise. That's not going to be available technically, like in that kind of like direct UI, but there will likely be other features where you can track and journal. So yes, but not necessarily what you might be thinking directly, like integrated with the app in that sense. But there is going to be like tracking, like a journaling feature that we're likely going to put in the first release. I'll give you more updates as I have them, but I'm announcing that the app is coming, but some of the features are kind of what's going to be released with the initial like beta release of it. I don't have all that list exactly what's going to be. It's a good question. So there will be will be like a journaling tracking feature, but it's not necessarily going to be like, here's the exercise, here's the block. And you put it in like a little section where you type it in directly. Cerny says, Papa Swolio, I was thinking of trying creatine, but I heard when you first start taking it, you'll gain water weight, true or no? I've always heard this throughout the years. It's good. It's good. If creatine brings water into the muscles, like that's a good thing. I don't know. I don't know what people think that they see. I feel like it's bullshit. I feel like creatine for people I've never taken creatine and be like, oh my God, I'm retaining so much water. I've never seen proof of that. I've never seen people blow up. It might just be because they're drinking more water than they ever have and they're actually hydrated, or they're not getting enough electrolytes in. Sometimes people take something and they feel maybe some gut distress because maybe they have leaky gut and they have other issues. So when they drink creatine, they feel bloated. Does that make sense? And they interpret that as the creatine is making me hold water. So just start with 2.5 grams a day and then see how you feel. I don't believe you're going to notice anything like that. I've never have. But on a cellular level, that's part of it. It's not like I've never heard, no one takes it and just all of a sudden you just look like a water balloon or anything like that. Yeah, Nick says, I've been told that it causes kidney disease. I haven't met one person that takes it with kidney, liver, or pancreas issues. It seems people still think creatine equals roids. A lot of people used to say they have to cycle creatine or used to load it, take 20 grams a day. They used to say on the containers, I don't know if you guys remember that part. It used to say take 20 grams a day for 5 days or for 7 days. That's fucking crazy. Now, I've taken 10 grams in a day or 7.5. I have a hard workout. I'll take it first thing in the morning. And then sometimes after a workout, I'll just be like, yeah, I put in a little bit extra creatine. You know, maybe just for fun. I'm like, yeah, I'll put in, I had a hard workout today. I only put in another 2 grams. Fuck it. But I don't take more than 5 on a regular basis because your body builds up that, not satiety, but it builds up that creatine capacity. And everyone's going to react differently. So some people that are maybe naturally more like lower in creatine levels, they might notice more of a improvement or composition and how they feel than someone who might naturally be more topped off to their limit based on diet and other factors. Swole Sama says maybe it's their mangina that's retaining water. It's possible. The mangina it can be pervasive. Lacey says, Papa Swole, or in the Telegram chat, is the app just another bonus? It won't replace Telegram, will it? There's no plan on getting rid of the Telegram. If it is just another bonus, so the app is going to be, it's not going to get rid of the website or anything. So the website is a web optimized app and you load it up on your phone. Obviously it runs like a mobile app. So the app itself is going to allow you with the same username, the same password. It's going to allow you to log in and access all the content that you do on the site through the app features. So there'd be certain optimizations within the app. So there may be certain features that you prefer using the computer for or the web feature. And if there's certain links inside the app, they might still open up Swolenormous X on the web. Does that make sense? So there's certain things that are going to be optimized with the app. So the app is going to streamline certain features that we can't do with the website, right? So like the direct, completely integrated streaming to smart TV, stuff like that. You can still do with your mobile app, but it depends on, what features your phone has and your web browser and stuff. So this app will be able to do that. That's integrated the offline viewing for audio and for video, yoga classes without an internet connection. We might have other communications and community within the app, but you can still use the website for it. And there's no plans to get rid of the Telegram chat. There may be communication channels in the app, but like I've mentioned, some of these features might not be all on the first release. So I want to make sure that we have all the most important benefits from the app coming out first. And then like anything else with the beta version, everyone just you're going to go into the app with the mindset like this is just the first release of it, first version. And then of course, once we get into it, then we continue to develop content. But now with the app in mind, now that the app is in the arena, content moving forward, and as we rearrange things and maybe change how things look and stuff like that, so it can optimize on both. So that's what it's ideally for. And there's a lot of cool features like scheduling and stuff like that, and advanced notifications and stuff. That's gonna be really cool. You guys have Swole text and stuff, but it's another way you can get updates and quick links and let's say alerts or notifications. I'll take you right to like a new piece of content, masterclass or something that just comes out. So you know how we have like the updates tab on the page, it'll be notification center. You can get notified within the app and stuff like that. So it'll be cool. And there's other things like we mentioned. Very exciting. Lots of work. Very exciting. And it's on top of everything else that we have going on too, with all the other content that we're doing and in production. So yeah, so we're working on that as swiftly as possible. KM Styles 99. few more minutes for more questions. Hashtag Ask Papa Swole drop in the chat. Thanks for being here. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, there's no other place, no better place, that's for sure, to get some knowledge cock in your life. So share the show with your friends. Leave us a 5-star review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you bang your ear holes. We are able to fill them up. Do I work out every day? And the answer is yes and no. So if you're on a solid program, currently I am doing Maximum Swole. If you are on a solid program, off days from intense training is still part of your workout. Your proper nutrition, your sleep, your recovery, mobility, sauna, cold plunge, going for a walk, meditating, all that is part of your training program. You're not going to be lifting every day. You can't be lifting every day. If you're training 6 days a week, in most cases, you're not going to be fully recovering. You really have to open up your mind. And there's a lot of different things. There are some programs like you'll have yoga on different days, but you'll generally notice in the programs in Swolenormous X that you're generally going to have a cap on how many days. You're not training every single day. Some of those days will have yoga or optional yoga, or if you still feel fatigued, you throw another yin yoga. So you're doing something, but you're not doing intense training every day. You should not be lifting intensely every day. You cannot. You cannot. Can you train every day? Can you work out every day? Can you be on a program even when you're not lifting intensely? Absolutely. Recovery is the most important part of a program. If you're not repairing enough within a program, you're just spinning your wheels. Recovery is everything. Lacey says the app being available offline is exciting. I'll have something to look at on flights. Yeah, so the way it'll work is you'll download, let's say you could download the videos and stuff in the app. So you have to download it first, and then you'll be able to access it as long as you have the app on your phone. So it's like in-app downloads. And then, because some people go on camping or you are on a plane, or hell, I wonder if you could even do, might be hard to do some chair yoga, but you could do stuff when you're on a connecting flight if you don't get good internet, or you can watch a master class or download some stuff there. Cool. Or meditation. That's a great time to do it. You could do a 30-minute meditation. They'll take a nice chunk out of the flight. Mbimbi. My name is Mbimbi. Papa Swole, when you get injured, mindset to training around it versus letting body recover and heal. All right, to clarify this, mindset to training around it. You're always training around an injury. And it doesn't mean if you're training around an injury that you're not letting it recover and heal. So your training is going to change. You break your leg, you're obviously not crushing your legs, but you're still training. You're doing upper body stuff. You're doing some mobility stuff. You're training your brain. You're doing some forearm work and some other chair yoga and stuff that can keep you focused. So you're still doing things. You still do things. You can still train things, just not that injury or maybe that thing directly if it's inflamed and stuff like that. So recovery and heal is the most important thing. And if you're able to train around it, that's a bonus. So focus on what you can do. The mindset, you should always be training around it. There's no time. Don't need to feel sorry for yourself. If I sprained my ankle bad in college, I still did upper body and all that stuff. And I rehabbed it when it was able to be rehabbed, but the other parts of my body still exist. And you want to make sure that whatever you're doing, you're not negatively impacting the recovery process of what you're trying to do. And in the opposite case, you want to make sure that you're improving it. We're going to do this one. Hussein Fazal 9, bro, got no motivation to go to the gym. Go to the gym. Don't give a fuck. Go to the fucking gym. No one cares. No one has motivation these days. Just do it. Just do it. Jeremy Glob, Papa Swole, you natty or juicy? Oh, I'm natty, baby. But I'm not against getting juicy, but like TRT or something like that. It's going to be intense. Krish Rawal, Papa Swole, I go to the gym 6 days a week for 2 hours. Increase 5 to 10 kilograms weight every week, but I can't feel soreness. This is a great message. We get to really break this thing down. 6 days a week at the gym. There's a very likely chance you're not recovering because that's a lot. For 2 hours. I don't know what you're doing 6 days a week. If you're lifting all those days, it's probably too much. Increase 5 to 10 kilograms weight every week. I don't know what that means. You mean body weight? That's probably impossible. If you're gaining 20 pounds a week, you're putting on 20 pounds a week on equipment. that's also not possible depending on what you're doing. Depends on what exercise. And if you're new to the gym, strength will go up quicker, or if it's a novel exercise. But if newbie gains are great, when you first start going to the gym, your weights go up quickly. You know, you get that coordination, that motor unit recruitment, you start building muscle. You're going to get everything's a new stress. Your body's like, whoa, what is this? And you adapt pretty quickly. You gain strength a lot first, and then you'll make most of your gains in the initial, year or two of your training, maybe probably less. But just keep in mind, and a lot of times people don't recognize this, that soreness does not mean you're not building muscle. You're not required to be sore. I'm not sore all the time. I might be a little bit stiff or a little bit like tender, but I'm not crippled sore. I used to be. I used to train to be crippled sore. That was probably a lot of damage and a lot of fatigue that wasn't required. You may get sore. In my opinion, you probably will get sore, especially if you tweak exercise or progressive overload. It's very likely that you will get sore, but you might only get sore in certain body parts. Other ones you might not feel as sore. It does not mean you're not building muscle. You do not have to be sore. It's not a requirement of building muscle. I will say that getting sore is probably, but getting sore is not required to build muscle, but getting sore is also a good proxy in the sense that you obviously hit that muscle. If you're sore in the quads and you're training your quads, well, you definitely, the muscle was definitely being used. So that's usually a good sign. If I'm working on incline chest and I'm trying to hit my upper pecs, my clavicular fibers after a chest day, let's say I do a different exercise and I feel sore right up there. I'm like, oh my God, the area is sore. That's good. I'm not upset that I'm sore, but you shouldn't be chasing soreness, because if you're chasing soreness, you'll tend to just do a lot of sets and a lot of volume to be completely fatigued, and you generally just dig into your recovery rather than optimize the stimulus so you can recover and progressively overload. Chances are you're just incurring too much fatigue by doing enough to be sore. You shouldn't be chronically sore. If you're sore all the time, I'm used to being sore, but I wouldn't say I'm sore all the time, every muscle. Sometimes I feel certain ones. I did one set. I did one single arm tricep extension, left arm and right arm at the end of my workout. My triceps, I'm a little sore from one set, but that one set was the heaviest I've gone. I progressively overloaded. So it was an increased stress, mechanical tension. I feel it. I feel that I did triceps yesterday. I did one set each arm, single arm. So, certain body, I feel it because I'm going all out. I'm doing like a 0 RIR, 1 or 0 for too heavy. I'm feeling it because of the progressive overload. I'm pushing myself to my limit. I'm just trying to minimize the fatigue because I'm going so heavy and I'm doing less volume. So I want to make sure that it's the least fatiguing amount of work. Maximum Swole, the program, Maximum Swole, is built around recovery. It's built around recovery. That's what the program is. Maximum Swole is actually maximum recovery. It's maximum recovery. It's the minimum required volume. You have to figure out what that is for you. How many times a week do you like to train? Do you want to do 3 full body workouts, 4 upper, lower? Do you want to do push, pull legs? Do you want to do push, pull legs, arms? Do you like push, pull with arms there and then split up your legs and do kind of like a glute ham and then a quad adductor type split? There's different ways to do it. And I kind of fluctuate kind of in between a couple of those. It might still be upper lower technically, but I might break up that upper lower depending on what I need on the fly. Maybe I'm still a little bit tight on my shoulders because a few days ago I did some really good work on my shoulders. I might skip it for that upper workout and just do chest, back, and arms and just skip my delts and then do that the next time. There's nothing wrong with that. The most important thing is that you're repairing enough and you're able to progressively overload over time. Lacey, Papasolio, this is from the Telegram chat, and we'll go into some balls deep. I suppose you can go ahead and Matt Damon me. You do not have to ask me twice. You don't have to ask me. If you want me to Matt Damon you, just say it. Done. During the roundtable, you mentioned building strength doesn't equate to muscle. I completely. Well, I don't think I said that. Well, let me read through this. I completely agree. I have the quads of a 12-year-old, but have a heavy squat number and a dumbed down explanation why. Strength is a requirement. Strength is a requirement to build muscle, but it doesn't mean that you're necessarily building muscle when you get stronger, if that makes sense. You're not going to build muscle without getting stronger. you're going to get stronger. And you know that too. Like you've gotten stronger over time. Now, I'm not saying that every muscle group is going to build in the same manner. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that because you're getting stronger, you're automatically building muscle. But the reason why you're going to gain strength, and let's equate this to very few people are competing at like a level like yours that are listening. So let's just talk about a newbie lifter. We talk about newbie gains. So let's say you've never worked out before, and you guys remember this, or you pick a new exercise. So let's say you've never done, let's say a face away cable curl, right? Face away cable curl. Let me just talk and I'll put out this example and you tell me if I answered your question. So you're facing away from one of those functional trainers, 2 cables, you're facing away. So you get a really good stretch and the biceps are loaded at full stretch, right? And you're doing face away cables. If you're new to that exercise, you're going to kind of be like, right, 2 cables facing away. It's a weird feeling. You're not used to doing like a standard barbell or dumbbell curl. So you don't have that tension at the bottom. You're kind of like leaning away. Your shoulders are kind of unstable. You're curling. You know, it might, if you have never done that exercise, it might feel a little bit weird. So then you might be putting 20 pounds on each side. It burns, but you're also a little bit unstable. The next time you try it, you're probably going to be doing 25 pounds on each side. And then you might be doing 30 pounds. So in the first couple times that you do it, after the first, you might be a little bit wobbly. Same thing with a free weight. Let's say it's a barbell and you haven't done barbell in a while, or you do a machine and you kind of like get the feel. It's kind of weird. But then after a few weeks, you get on the machine and it's not weird anymore. I know that's really layman's terms in that sense, but the reason why it's not weird anymore, it's because you've built that coordination similar to riding a bike, similar to any kind of activity where you're not building strength by riding a bike. What you're getting is motor unit recruitment, equilibrium, stability, right? Because all you're doing is you're getting your brain to fire certain motor neurons. So you have certain neural pathways that will trigger, because you have a lot of muscles, right? So you have, and I hope I don't butcher this at some level, but this is the general gist. You have nerves that go to the muscles, and you have certain like little muscle fibers, and you have groups of those muscle fibers, and then you have bunches. You have like sarcoplasm, you have the myofibrils, and then you have the fasciculi. I forget my anatomy, but you know, you have different bunches and and you have fascial tissue surrounding and grouping them together. So it's like a bunch of straws, and those straws so you have a straw. Let's say you put 8 straws together and then you wrap some connective tissue around those 8 straws. And then you take a bunch of those 8 straws together. You have a bunch of bunches of 8 straws, and then you wrap those together. So it's like layers and layers of bunches and bunches of like muscle fibers, like as the tissue, and those like spindles and all that shit. So when the nerves like trigger some of those muscle fibers, not all of them get triggered. Not all of them fire at the same time. So you might have like thousands here. They're just kind of like off a little bit. So it's kind of like a bunch of lights flashing. And then all of a sudden, once they synchronize over time, when you get that coordination, instead of like a bunch of lights strobe flashing, they all boom. It's a really bright light flashing at the same time. So you're getting quote unquote like strength from each individual muscle fiber. And to get that maximum strength, the more they all fire at the same time, synchronized, like synchronized swimming. You know, if they're all off, it looks like a hot mess. But if everyone's doing the same movement at the same time, you can't tell the difference. That's motor unit synchronization. So you want all the motor units to fire at the same time. You'll get the maximum peak force. So that's why heavy strength training is able to overload the muscles most effectively. That's why training for a 1 rep max is important. You can't just sit down and do a 1 rep max. Training for that 1 rep max is really important because you have to get that motor unit recruitment. And this is why doing warm-up sets, and when I say warm-up, that's why I say doing preparation sets before a heavy set. That's why you could do any kind of warm-up when you get on the bench or whatever you're doing for your first sets. I go heavier and I do like 1 rep or 2, and I put on heavier weight. I do 1 rep or 2. That's all I'm doing to prepare, not to exhaust myself before my all-out set, but just to prepare my motor neurons and that kind of firing, so that when I get to my heavy set, I'm already in the zone. If I just do a 10 reps with 135, okay, put on 315, it's too much of a jump neurologically. It's just too much neurologically, so you kind of prepare yourself for that kind of contraction. So So bottom line, and this is why it's important for strength training for people that compete, because what they're trying to do is get as strong as they can relative to their weight, right? You're in the 160 weight class. You want to get as strong as you can, because if you have to go up to 180, then you have to bench like 450 pounds, because that 10 pounds, right? It's completely different. So that's why if that's why those people that train at those weight classes, they try to stay under it and get as strong as possible. And that's what they're doing. They're trying to maximize their motor unit recruitment. They're maximizing every single technique down to the last detail to squeeze every little ounce of strength for their body weight. Because if they put on more muscle, then they have their whole they might be top of their weight class. They go up to the next weight class and then they're right smack back in the middle. It's a big jump, right? It's a big jump competition wise. Yeah. So, I mean, everyone's different, right? I mean, everyone's different when it comes to muscle building. And just because you don't have like a full muscle belly, it doesn't mean it doesn't mean that, like, there's different things, like people that are like your insertions, right? Bicep insertions. Some people have very long muscle bellies. Like, I'm glad that I have, like, my muscle goes all the way to the end. Some people have like shorter muscle bellies and longer tendons. Same thing with calves. Some people have like thick, meaty, low, like it looks like they have like turkeys on the back of their legs and they never do calves. They're just like massive legs. And some people have very long tendons and really short calf muscles, but they're very explosive and they jump high and they can run fast because of like the leverage of the tendon. Everyone's different. So the way it looks genetically is not always directly with like strength per se, but it's definitely related. But if you're building muscle, you're going to be getting stronger. So you can build strength without building muscle from that purpose, from that physiologically. But if you're getting bigger, you're getting stronger. So if you're doing, like, you're not just going to get massive doing the same rows with 135. Like, you're going to go to 140. You're going to go to 145. You're going to be getting stronger. You might not be doing 1 rep max or 5 rep max. You could build muscle with 30 reps. You could build muscle with 15 reps. Maybe you like doing 15 or 20 reps. You just have to keep in mind that you're doing a lot more fatigue, so it might not be required. You have to keep that in mind. You're not necessarily required to do that many reps in order to build muscle. So this is what you're always doing. You're weighing out the stimulus, how much stimulus is required, and how much recovery are you getting, and how much recovery is required. If you're doing 45 reps to get the same stimulus as someone that can do 15, maybe you're better off doing 3 sets of 5 than you are doing 3 sets of 45. You're doing three sets of 15 reps to failure. You might be exhausted and super fucking sore and bang the fuck up. Maybe you prefer that and you do longer rest periods and you like that and you get amazing results. Great. But you might get the same, maybe better results. Maybe worse, maybe better by doing 3 sets of 5 and you're doing 15 reps. So you might be able to get the gains without the amount of the workload, the volume or the fatigue. All right, last one. Just some ideas. There's a lot of things that work is the point, and you just have to pick and try things that you like. Lacey says, I agree with this. Before we do the last one about probiotics, Lacey says, as I'm getting older, less is more. That's what I've been saying. I'm doing less, and it's fucking humbling and not scary, but it's humbling. I'm thinking, shit, how much have I been overtraining my entire life? Because I'm getting results now and I'm seeing a lot of positive changes from an amount of work that I would have like scoffed at in the past. I still think that way. I feel like I'm barely lifting. And it's not that I'm barely lifting. I'm lifting hard and I train myself and I push myself fucking hard. I see it in the notes. I know that I'm doing more. I know objectively that I'm pushing myself harder and I'm progressively overloading and all that stuff. But I am absolutely not training the way I used to. I can't. If I trained the way I fucking did 15 years ago, I'd be dead. I couldn't. I've tried doing that and I almost burnt out. And with what I do, I can't burn out. In the sense that you shouldn't be burning out. That's the whole point. People burn out. You're not supposed to. If you're burning out, you're not training, you're not sleeping, you're not eating, you're not doing something right. I'm not saying you can't burn out. I'm saying you can and you will. But I'm saying you don't have to. You shouldn't be burning out. And this is why I always say we have in some of the programs, you don't need a deload week. You don't need 2 weeks off. If you feel like you want to do that and you need it in that sense, then do it. But what I'm saying is if you properly program, you don't need that. So if I let's say tomorrow's a leg day. If I'm like, I still feel sore, I don't feel like I want to do legs, then I'll take another day off and I'll do it the next day. I'll do something else and it's not the end of the world. And then I look at my last workout. Why was I still sore? What did I do? Okay, I won't do that this time. If I want to keep that protocol. So I'll say if I want to keep that schedule, then I can't do what I did last time because it wasn't enough. Why was I still sore when I normally was not? Oh, I did an extra set for quads. I did a little finisher set that pushed me over the edge. If I wanted to train, let's say legs today, if I wanted to take 2 days off normally, then I can keep on doing that and then I'll be recovered for the next day. You see what I mean? So if it's not working, then you have to change something. One of the inputs has to change. And that's right, Pedro. Pedro says on Rumble, that's why program hoppers don't see progress. Often the case. And this is why, what do I always say inside Swolenormous X? What do I say? When people finish the 90-day dash, hey, Papa, what program should I do next? Do it again. Get all the benefits out of it. I really don't think you're going to get all the benefits out of a program that you haven't done, right? It's 90 days. It's 3 months. I've been doing my training protocol, the latest one, kind of like a month and a half, 2 months, but I've been doing my last, like what I've been doing. It's been for the past year or so that I've been, maybe a little bit more, that I've been doing what I'm currently doing, maybe a year and a half. And I feel like I'm only kind of now getting the hang of it. I feel like I'm now realizing I'm still discovering shit after a year and a half. It takes that long. And I'm not sitting here to tell you not to train hard. And a lot of people are going to hear, oh, he's doing 2 sets for chest, or he's not training hard. That's quite the opposite. I'm training very fucking hard, which is why 2 is plenty for what I'm doing. And everyone's going to be a little bit different, but you have to try. You're not going to know what works for you. And I'm still figuring it out. I'm doing less. And I changed my protocol like a couple months ago. And I'm like, is this really possible that this is the amount that I need? Because I know I'm feeling recovered and I'm making progress, but psychologically I'm thinking I could do more. And I realize for me, I need to have that feeling. If I have that feeling, I could do more. That means I'm recovering. It shouldn't be, oh, I'm barely just getting by. Okay, I think I might be recovered. That's not recovered. So I realize that in my mind and my feelings, my emotions, I need to have that feeling of I could do more. Cool, I'm done. Yesterday, after I did 1 set each for triceps, 1 set, because I had done 2 sets, 2 or 3 days before with my previous other upper body workout. So yesterday, I was like, I haven't done this exercise in a couple weeks. Let me just do 1 set each. And I'm feeling it. I'm glad I didn't do 2. I would have been much more stiff, and then maybe the next workout would have been counterproductive. So I'm just realizing that I need to have that. I'm associating certain feelings, and this is why you should pay attention to your feelings. Once you're more advanced, you can listen to them. I say, fuck your feelings. Yeah, fuck your feelings. Get it done. Discipline. But it doesn't mean that's not information. If you're brand new to training and you don't have any discipline, you have to really learn how to overcome that negative voice. So fuck you, go to the fucking gym, get it done. You need to really build that foundation up front. As you get more advanced, you can start paying attention to shit and thinking about it differently because you've earned that. You have that ability. So yeah, for most people, fuck your feelings. But for me, that means something. Why do I feel that way? Why do I not feel like training? Why do I feel like I'm dragging ass, like I'm underwater? And sometimes you'll be like, oh shit, I didn't put my contacts in this morning. Why do I feel kind of like dragging? It's like, oh, I didn't put my contacts in, so it's a little bit blurry or whatever. It's like, well, shocker. That's why I feel a little bit fatigued or a little bit like kind of out of it or something like that. Or it could be, I need to drink more water. Last night was kind of rough. We got up early because who fucking knows? So, but that's why I like to have a program that, and the way I have it now, that's why I like the programming that I'm doing right now. It gives me pivot room. Very important to have pivot room. So if I just push it back one day, it's like, okay, my upper body day is on Wednesday instead of Tuesday. It's not like I'm pushing back an arm, like a bicep day, and then my tricep day gets moved, my shoulder day gets moved, and then I can't do this. And it's not like an accordion where like 20 things get pushed out of the way. It's like, all right, I do that a day later. That's it. No big deal. Last one. That was a good rant. Papa Soy, do you take probiotics? I drink kefir. And I also drink raw bull milk. Fermented bull milk, we like to call it. Yeah. So that's good stuff. You also have like, pickles and brine. That's fermented. That's good stuff. Okay. All right. Balls deep time. Let's go. Let's go. We went a little bit long. That's what she said. Pick a number 1, 2, or 3. Fam, you got to pick today's title. What's the title of today's episode? Anyone got any ideas? Drop in the chat. Hashtag Swole Slut Saturday for a chance to win today's Swole card. Hashtag SSS. Aaron says number 1 for balls deep. Number 1. Let's do it. Oh my God. This one's called, it might just be this. I think we got the title.
What's in the box?
It says alive privilege. That might be it. Alive privilege. Betcha she's pro-choice though. Yeah. Okay.
Someone left a comment on one of my thin privilege. Videos saying, "Why is everything a privilege?" Next, it's going to be being alive privilege. My first thought to that was, well, yeah, it is a privilege to be alive. Every single day that you wake up.
Agreed.
And don't get me wrong, we live in a capitalist hellscape, but it is a.
You lost me. No. Let's call out bullshit where it is. A capitalist hellscape, you say. A capitalist hellscape, as she does this on her iPhone. Yeah, the only way you have an iPhone is because, but my capitalism. But my capitalism. The only, I say, son, we're living in a capitalist hellscape, son. Come here, boy, let me tell you about this, a capitalist hellscape. Little foghorn leghorn? Jesus Christ.
Privilege to be alive. And the entire reason that I even started my 160-pound weight loss journey is because I wanted to have that privilege of being alive, okay? Because at one point in my life, I was really, truly afraid of the path that I was going down, leading me to not being alive anymore. And yes, I know at some point we're all not alive, but you get what I mean. I was really, truly terrified of my life ending much earlier than it was supposed to.
I think something's bothering me. It's the hair. It's a little ponytail and like the little bouncing thing that's going on here. I'm getting frustrated. Let's wrap this up.
Because of the way that I was living. So yes, commenter, it is a privilege to be alive. But the reason that I talk about thin privilege is because as someone who started off in a much bigger body and now is in a smaller body, I understand that there is just certain privileges that are afforded to people who are in a smaller body than in a bigger body. And I don't think it's fair. So yes, it is a privilege to be alive. And
say nothing. Just say things. Say things. Angry. Words.
Of being alive and being a decent human is realizing that you are afforded certain privileges. Also based on the color of your skin. Yeah, privilege. The size of your body. Privilege. Whether you were born a male or a female. And working and using your voice to advocate for those who don't have those things.
Let's talk about come here, boy. Come here, son. Sit on my leg right there. Let's talk about that capitalism privilege. I said, boy, you alive, aren't you? Son, let me tell you a little something about alive privilege. That might be the dumbest video that we've seen. I mean, I agree with the first part. Yeah, you should be grateful. How about gratitude? Gratitude. Yeah. We're renting out billboard space on that 6-head, by the way, so place your offers if you want to advertise. Better than Facebook and TikTok ads combined. Look at that tainty boy. Look at that tainted man. Aww. Mr. Tainted Boy. Mr. Tainted Boy. Let me smack his jump. You see that? This is what happens when you have a big old meat bag. Look at this dog. Doesn't even react. Whatever, dude. Oh, there you go. Yeah, you got the memo, bro? Yeah. Okie dokie. Okay. Here we go. Let's do another one. What else we got here? We got 2 more. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. J Money 7171.
What's in the
Obese
box?
people have tried everything. Ooh. Oh, this one looks rough.
What most people will never understand about obesity is that most people who are obese have done and tried every single thing they can. I use myself as an example because I was born obese. I was overweight from my height at birth.
Let's continue. Forget it.
Earliest childhood memories are of me being on a diet enforced by my mom. My mother using dieting as leverage when I wanted something, even as a child. At 5 and under, there's no way I had access to food that my mother wasn't giving me.
True.
And it's not like I could have snuck something
True.
because she didn't keep it in the house.
True.
So when people come around, all these posts about medication for weight loss and obesity, understand that these people aren't doing this because they want to lose weight. They want to cure obesity. Losing weight is a byproduct. Getting rid of the obesity they've probably lived with their whole life is the goal. But this world has been programmed to believe that obesity is a moral failing and we should judge the overweight community. My comments reflect it.
That we should judge? Look, I mean, no one's telling you that you had a good childhood. No one's telling you to love your mother. No one's telling you that it's absolutely the parents' fault. Absolutely. But first off, can we get rid of those glasses, please? Let's get rid of those glasses.
I got hairy legs.
Come on, man.
Let's get rid of those glasses. Let's get rid of them. The first step. Yeah, your mother probably didn't know. This is the problem. This is the problem because you have people that don't know, raising kids they don't know, and they're, essentially poisoning your kids. Yeah, I mean, a lot of us have eaten junk growing up. Yeah, myself included. Okay, but you also have the information now, so you're not a 5-year-old, so you perpetuate these habits into adulthood, which is often the case, but I mean, it's still your responsibility. So the denial doesn't help, but I guarantee your mom wasn't feeding you liver and beef and organ meats and having you lift weights and eat plenty of protein and fat and run around outside with bare feet. Like, who knows? Maybe you got abused, other things. There's a lot of issues there, but it doesn't change reality just because maybe your mom didn't feed you properly and you were fat. Yeah, luck of the draw in that case. You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm not denying that. Yeah, like you feed your kid the wrong stuff or stress them out and don't feed them right just because you remember, like, think about it when this person, right? I'm just saying, when this person was a child, that was probably during the whole push for, oh my God, fat's bad. So giving your kids margarine, give them canola oil, get rid of all the fat, add the sugar instead. You know what I mean? So it's also not necessarily that her mom did it because she wanted her daughter to be fat. It's just that wasn't the answer. We know that was a scam. So yeah, but that doesn't mean that you perpetuate that nonsense. It doesn't make what I'm saying not true. It just means that your mom fucked up. Parents aren't perfect. They're just two people your parents aren't perfect. There's two people that fucked. It's true. Like, hey, my mom, hey, my dad. It's like, I get it. Like, two people fucked and you popped out. No one chose it. He's like, I didn't choose my parents. Well, they didn't choose you either. I mean, they chose to do the thing that led to a child. So, I mean, they made that choice. But I'm just saying, like, they're just two people that fucked. They're not perfect. And they had whatever. Look, you see the past 5 years, you see how many people are like, inject that stuff. Oh my God, put on a mask. You're killing grandma. There are a lot of people that thought that. A lot of those people had kids. A lot of those people were your parents, right? They're people that are sheep have kids. You can't choose it, right? You can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. So it's just like this. You can't pick your family. You can't pick your parents or those people that like and she was right. When you're 5, no, you can't go out and get a job and make your own food. So yeah, you are at the mercy of your parents. Rightfully so. You do what they say. But then of course you become your own person. You can change those things. So what would you do since you were 20? Are you still living with your parents? Right? Like, what'd you do? You perpetuated that. So there's still responsibility there that you never took, but I'm not saying that it was done right. That's a good one. Cerny says you don't have to end up like them. That's your choice. To an extent. Yeah. To an extent. Right. It's all choice, but you have to make a habit of the different choices. You have to see what choices that those people make. And then you have to make different choices. So like, if you don't want to be like your parents, make sure you don't make the choices that they made. Make different choices. I don't want to be like my so-and-so or my aunt or my uncle or my grandparents that they were fat, they're obese. Like, that don't do fat things. Don't do obese things. Don't do the things that's going to lead you down there. And people say that I don't want that, or that's bad, or this, that, and the other. And they do exactly what's going to lead them down there. Last one, stop making skinny a trend. Jesus Christ. Just go to the fucking gym.
We need to stop
Go to the gym.
making skinny a trend. We need to stop making being thin the most desirable trait to have on this app and in the world right now.
Why do these people always say that when it's just body positivity and fat promotion everywhere? What are you talking about? This is the biggest gaslighting. We have to stop making skinny a trend. Who's making skinny a trend? People are attractive to other humans that look like human beings, that are taller than they are wide. It's quite the opposite. If I say something about fat people, I get a warning online for bullying and harassment when I'm just stating the obvious. I have eyes. I can't fucking use them. I can't tell you what my eyes see. Oh, there's no fat people at Walmart. They're beautiful just the way they are. Okay. You haven't seen what I've seen. I seen it. Go to fucking Walmart. Go to Walmart. And I'm saying go to a 24-hour Walmart. Go to a 24-hour Walmart in like the middle of the day or late at night. Like, go to a Walmart when there's just no reason why anyone should be there and there's so many people there. Just go there. Go there. You come back with PTSD like you just got out of Nam. I went to the 24-hour super center. Give me a drink, son. And then like you go into that like hazy, like that blur as you zoom into the dude's face, and he tells you about his experience. The flashback. All right, let's continue.
You are not alone if all of a sudden you've been wanting to be skinnier or thinner or look different than how you are. It's literally being shoved down our throats right now. But there is so much more to life than what size you wear. As someone who has struggled with this, I know how harmful it is. So I hope that this can just be one more video telling you what size you wear or how you look is the least interesting thing about you.
Ready? Did you guys catch that? I'm gonna play it again. I'm gonna play it again. Man, this shit writes itself.
Or how you look is the least.
Hold on a second.
Size you wear or how you look.
Hold on a second.
What size you wear or how you look is the least interesting thing about you. What size you wear or how you look is the least interesting thing about you. And what size you wear or how you look is the least interesting thing about you.
I agree. Now, can we stop with all the fucking rainbow mafia? Can we stop with the BDSM? Can we stop with the sexual grifting? Can we stop with the identity politics? What are you talking about? The size of your body or how you look is the least. That's the only thing that you fucking people care about is like your most base instinct and your base fucking race and the color of your skin, the shit you can't control. It's just like, oh, you're fat. It's fat positivity. You're a mid-size fat. You're an infinifat. You're a super fat. You're a universe fat. I'm a mid-size person. I'm a straight size fucking.
In a time where people make money off of making you believe that you need to change, please do not think you need to change this about yourself. I think we all need to keep talking out against this and fight back against the idea that we need to change to be deserving.
Jesus Christ.
Shut up, bitch!
Fam, let's get into a throwback. Let's do a throwback. Let's give away this swole card. What's today? What was the episode? Alive Privilege? Yeah, today's episode is called Brought to You by Alive Privilege. Let's get a throwback. Let's do this one. What the fuck is this? Let's do this one.
Surprisingly, my medical knowledge that I learned throughout the years does not get consumed by all of my fat cells.
Yeah, but you've been brainwashed with whatever the institutions want you to think in the pharmaceutical companies. You get no nutrition education in medical school, so there's that also. No exercise education, so there's that as well.
The list goes on and on, really.
Obviously, I'm just like joking around right now, but I do have videos on my channel that are more sincere regarding how patients actually take me more seriously, especially when talking about weight, because I am someone that experienced the thing that they are experiencing right now.
Obesity and organ failure. Yay! Oh, shit.
Well, I could be wrong, but I believe diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
Glorious. Absolutely glorious, fam. Let's give away today's Swole card. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for a war? Let's give away today's Swole card. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Falcon. Dale. We got a winner for the Swole slot today. Ooh, Eddie V. Eddie V on Room Blay. Eddie V, 82. Congratulations, Bro Jackson. That's very nice. Very nice. Eddie, send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 2969. 69. I said that. In the subject, your mailing address in the body of the email. We'll send you the Swole card. And fam, tomorrow is Ask Papa Swolio Live. So get those questions in over at askpapaswolio.com. That's askpapaswolio.com. Also, we have some specials going on for merch. Today, I am rocking the red, white, and swole merch. If you missed out on some of the specials recently, how dare you? It's a shame. Look,
How dare you?
It is a shame, but fear not. 20% off site-wide over at papaswolio.com. If you have not picked up a brand new nip cover this summer, go check it out. 20% off the entire site. papaswolio.com. Thanks for being here, Beaches. We'll see you tomorrow for Ask Papa Swolio Live. Peace, McGee's, deuce, magoose. Ya boy, Papa Swolio. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like
Then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
that's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. That's the bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, chill. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. Off topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element, no ollies.